What was the hottest thing someone said to you? When we were making out pretty hot and heavy, she grabbed my hand and shoved it into her panties saying, "Stop being such a gentleman." I thought we were taking it slow, but she had other ideas. I can still feel you. French girl. I grabbed her when she fell. I apologized, sorry if I hurt you. In the sexiest accent ever. Darling. I'm not made of sugar, and blew me a kiss. Shit. Makes my heart flutter just thinking about it. Driving around with girl. She said she had the most comfortable underwear on and that I should feel them. I reached to feel. She wasn't wearing any. I was listening to the lecture in English class. And one of the smartest and hottest guys in the room looks at me and says, "Hey, name. Your shirt is both inside out and backwards." I realized that he was right. But at least he talked to me. I accidentally knocked a female coworker's water bottle off the table. She looked me square in the eye and said, "Pick it up, bitch." I never knew I had a sub-bone in my body until that moment. I had dropped 123 pounds. Was mostly muscle and with an all-white beard. A woman walked by and asked to be on my naughty list. I was flabbergasted because I had no idea what she meant. Anytime a man moans or is vocal in general during sex, I melt. My wife and I were out watching a band. They were really good. Place was packed. But she had gotten dressed up for it and looked amazing. After maybe a half hour, I turned to her and said, "Want to go home and fuck?" She said yes. Then grabbed my arm and said yes. It was the second yes that got me. We picked up our stuff and started to leave and saw the people behind us smiling. They had obviously heard us. And she clearly didn't care. Which was also really hot. I'm a bouncer, and last week at work I was talking to this girl and she said, "Your breath smells nice." So I stuck out my tongue with my gum on it, and lo and behold, this decadent angel leaned right in and stole the gum straight out my mouth with her own mouth. Becca from Chicago in Los Angeles. If you're reading this, I typed my number wrong in your phone. DM me ASAP. If I'm giving you my ass, I want you to fuck it so hard that I feel it in my throat. My ex-wife said that to me one night. I did what she said. And the next morning she told me that she hoped I enjoyed it because she was never going to say that again. We can either go out for dinner at 5. Or you can fuck me and we will get there at 5:30-ish. My ex loved planning things out. You want to be my boyfriend? Some girl who I secretly had a crush on. On a Tinder date, and I offered to buy the next round of drinks and she looked me dead in the eye and said sure, or we could go back to mine and I can sit on your face. We left immediately. Not something someone said, but my ex would sometimes just get on her knees and open her mouth whilst giving me that look when she wanted to give me head. So hot. My boyfriend once said, "I want to come in you so badly. I don't even care anymore," and that was pretty hot considering we've never done that before and he's always been hesitant to come in me. To hear him say that while fucking me was a whole new, eyes rolling into the back of my head, sensation. Hearing "I want you inside me" when eating her out got me more excited than I had ever been. "Come inside me" is still pretty hot thing to hear from a girl. She said, "I masturbated over you last night." A girl I was sleeping with for the first time said, "Me first," and then sat on my face. Hottest thing ever. This banana bread is delicious. Wow. You make a great goulash. I've never had a better lasagna. Complimenting my cooking is pretty much dirty talk to me. Edit. JFC 6,000 plus upvotes? I did not wake up today expecting 6,000 other people to agree with me on food compliment triggered arousal. When my GF and I first kissed. We were talking and she looks at me and says, "I've always wanted to kiss you." I blushed and she smirks. Then goes, "Wanna?" Won my heart, and here we are 12 years later still together. I like it when you pull me close to you. From a girl I had met just 5 seconds prior and started dancing with. Sent chills down my back. I hope I never forgot about that moment. I remember when I first started dating my ex, I had bought really cute lingerie, and while he was watching a random video on his computer, I asked him if he would like to play with me. The immediate pausing of the video and the look on his face as he swiveled around both thrilled and embarrassed the hell out of me. "Look at me while you come on, no mouth face." Got with this new girl, and when she pulled down my pants she made an annoyed sigh. I was like, "Well, WTF is up?" To which she replied, Of course your dick is as pretty as your face. Best compliment of my life. Thanks Cassie. My ex told me, wow, your penis tastes so good while giving me head. Made me lose it. She could suck like nobody's business and in time. She even sucked out my happiness. I had a first date that was going pretty well. It got better when she discreetly asked, what are we having for breakfast tomorrow morning? About halfway through the night, my wife came up to me and randomly said in a super cutesy voice and said, I need you to fuck my throat. Needless to say, I obliged. I remember a girl I was talking to was in love with my shoulders. I'm a bigger guy so my shoulders are pretty broad, but she would almost get off just from feeling and holding onto my shoulders, and it was the hottest thing to have someone actually attracted to a part of me. Hey baby, I made you this grilled cheese sandwich. Hope you like it. Like bro, you want me to just hand you my panties? Or would you like to take them off yourself? Just give me that damn sandwich. Edit. Guys, I can't thank you all enough for all of the love on this comment. I love it when my dumb humor can make people laugh. You guys are the bomb. Lean down so I can kiss you, a girl 35 centimeters shorter than me said that once. You're gonna learn some new things about yourself. I did. Before him I had no idea I could squirt. After coming all over her stomach and searching for a towel in the half dark, she says, this wouldn't be a problem if you had just cum in my mouth. I was hooking up with a girl, she stops me and says, IDK if I want to have sex. I said that's completely fine, I have no expectations, let's just have fun and we can stop wherever you want. Keep hooking up. Getting hotter and hotter. She looks me dead in the eye and says, fuck me with your big cock. Almost blew my load right then and there. Do you feel how wet you make me? When I was in college I hooked up with a guy who had such a big dick I literally had no idea what to do with it. It wouldn't even fit in my mouth to give head. So I improvised as best I could. Mouth on head with tongue. Hand on shaft pumping. Other hand fondling balls. Thought I just hit everything I could. Afterwards, the guy asked me, where the hell did you learn how to do that? I felt pretty accomplished since I had no idea what I was doing. Mine is kind of gross NGL. I was at my friend's engagement party, in their house, shortly after my ex-husband and I broke up. I was still breastfeeding my youngest baby and had expressed some milk in their bedroom and discreetly put it in the fridge. Later a guy, who was insanely hot, was grabbing more beers and I heard my friend's fiancé laugh because he must have seen my milk. I was cringing at first when I heard my friend say, yeah, trust me, you don't want to drink that one, bro, and the hot guy replied, for her? If she let me drink it straight from the tap it'd be the best day of my fucking life. Yeah, officially it was a pretty weird thing to say, but I felt so unattractive after giving birth, ending my marriage, that overhearing that made me feel tingly as fuck. Sunday morning. Just dropped the kids off at the church nursery. My wife whispers to me, honey, I forgot something at home. Me, what was it? Her whispering in my ear, my underwear. Somehow we missed the sermon that week. A coworker, before they left for the night, told me they refilled the printer paper to make my shift easier and that did all sort of things to my body. It's okay. You in good hands. I'm just going to have a little fun. In a soft yet terrifying voice whispered into my ear while tied up. Good shit. Just shut up and F me. Wear a hat and sunscreen. The temperature is gonna be 105 and we ain't got much of a breeze. Wanna go to the bookstore? I was hooking up with an ex again months after we had broken up and as soon I slid it in, OMG, I forgot how big you are. First date with the guy I'm still seeing. We were making out and stuff and I could tell he was restraining himself very hard from continuing further. He stops kissing me, kind of groans and says, the things I would do to you right now. I've never felt more wanted in my life. I saw a singer at a bar after a concert. I said to him, that was just beautiful. He replied, you still are. Sigh. The Walmart lady asked me how my day was going today. One time my husband made me wait to cum. I actually got the idea from Reddit. When I was close to coming, he told me I wasn't allowed to cum until he said so. When I count to 10 you can cum, and then he slowly counted to 10, waiting longer and longer between each number. I exploded at 9. I could tell you my name, but I want you to fuck me like you don't know it. Make me. Confess it. I do not think this will ever be topped. The setting. Context. The woman, it was all perfect. I want you more than I want to breathe right now. I can't wait to make you come again, always gets me. A guy the first dated told me that he admired that I was the perfect mix of having both feet firmly planted on the ground but without having lost my sense of wonder for the world. Best compliment anyone has ever given me. Maybe because it was so introspective and insightful. When I was pregnant, I was kind of worried at first that my husband wouldn't like how my body was changing. Because I didn't love it at first, either. I told him and he sat me down and said, "I didn't think you could get any more beautiful." But I was wrong. I've never wanted to F you so bad. Let me show you how gorgeous and amazing you are. Fade to black. It was so sweet that it made me cry. It's one of the hottest and most beautiful things he's ever said to me. I was making out with a guy and he took me back to his dorm to continue. He was on top of me, on his bed, grinding his hard cock against me. And I couldn't stop moaning. He whispered, almost growled in my ear, "I wanna fuck you." In a daze, I asked him to repeat what he said. And even more urgently he said, "I wanna fuck the shit out of you." All in one breath. I was overcome. My response was then fuck me. I've never felt that good. Wasn't after sex. We had just been cuddling. Not said. But when I was in high school I had borrowed my sweatshirt to a girl for the day. At the time I figured she was probably out of my league, but when I got it back at the end of the day, her number was in the pocket. "I want you to fuck me. Not your fingers." That was after round 1 when my guy didn't want to come back out. But I wanted to please her. He came right back out after that statement though. Edit. Really? This is my most upvoted thing on Reddit and it's a sex reference. I guess I get it. Didn't expect for it to explode like this though, pun intended. On our first date 2.5 years ago, during post-coital pillow talk, my fiancé called me a master of sex. I'll never forget that. That'll boost my confidence for the rest of my life. I told a girl I was on a second date with that I was dying to kiss her. She came back with, "I'd rather you F me." Was banging my GF and she seemed a little out of it. So I asked her whether she wanted to keep going or stop. The best way I can describe the look she gave me is the look Nala gave Simba in the scene where she's begging for Simba's royal lion cock. She then whispered in my ear in her sexy German accent, "You know what I want." I went as hard as I ever have in my life for the next 4 minutes. That's alright. You have such big hands. My dexterity was sometimes hindered by compact objects and a hot coworker used to flirt with me when she could. Unfortunately, I let her slip through my fingers. Should have made something more of it cause she was the hottest I ever met. You never know what you got, till it's gone. Too damn afraid and insecure at the time. A girl moaning your name during sex. It happened to me once and I couldn't stop thinking about it for a week. During World Cup 2006 I kinda neglected my GF at the time a little bit. She was wanting attention but it was a tied Argentina versus Mexico so I was glued to the TV. She stands in front of me and says, "Can I suck your dick?" I said phewick yay. This absolute goddess goes, "Oh thank God. Don't worry, you can keep watching the game." My ex-BF told me once, "I love it when you spread those legs for me," and that is still the hottest thing I've ever heard. Of course I respect you as a person. Now take off your pants. During my first threesome one girl said, "I'm going to go down on you now. And you're probably going to cum. And you should just let it happen." And I did. Hanging out with a male friend one early summer night and before he leaves, he asks for a kiss. I lean in and peck in on the cheek and he's like, "No." I meant how about a real kiss? It was pretty hot but our romance ended that night. He got into heroin, while I got into depression. Rip George. Edit. I'm okay now. No worries. My name. It's the way she says it. I said one time in virtual class that I can clean my room really fast. This was a quick response to a "what are your talents" question. I was stumped and had no idea what to say so I just blurted that out. Just had to explain why I said that. Moving on. A girl in chat said 123 I need to _p I need you to come to my room now. 2 years ago but I still remember it vividly. The first time I ever heard a girl say that lol. When he moaned "How are you even doing that?" during sex. I was so proud, cold sweat smile. While I was very enthusiastically sucking his dick, because I genuinely loved doing it, he said, How are you so sweet and cute but also the biggest fucking slut? We worked together. I kept catching him staring at me in this way. Took me a little bit to catch on, but I'll never forget that look. One day I was teaching him something and my curls kept falling in my face. I said, "Sorry. I'm a mess today." A few seconds later he says, "Hey." So I look and he gave me those eyes and says, "You're perfect." He absolutely knew what he was doing. That shit. I don't mess with coworkers. She didn't even say anything. My GF and I were necking. And I started gently stroking her chest. She grabbed my hand, put it on her breast, and squeezed hard. And it really got her motor running. That was the first time I realized that sex could be rough. askReddit being let out of horny jail again. Bonk. I own you and you're mine. I like to be owned. Get on your knees. You're mine now. Fuck, that was so hot. Recently started sleeping with a woman. About to do the deed and I take out a condom. There was some protest on her end while I explained that I prefer safe sex. Especially if we're new friends and maybe sleeping with other people. While I'm explaining this, she blurts out, "I just want to have sex with you in the future." Gave me the warm and fuzzies. So no shit. There I was. Pinning my then girlfriend up against the wall in the hallway between our kitchen and bedroom. I go on for a kiss, like, do the thing. And then, I'm hazy on the first part. But she started with something to the ends of "come fuck me." Which was pretty great in and of itself. But she followed that up with calling me a sexy piece of fuck. Now, I do not now and did not then have any fucking clue what that meant. But it was perfect. Or maybe the girl was. Who fucking knows? That's the moment against which all others of the type are judged though. So there's that. My fiancé, I'm not stopping until I come again. I love you. She whispered, "Me encanta tu cuerpo," and I almost died. And GT. Me walking through a house party with some brand new Air Forces. And GT. Hot chick steps on shoes. And GT. Hey, watch the kicks, I say. And GT. She grabs my face and says, "I'll lick them clean," smiles. Winks. And walks away. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like. If you would like to see more content like this in the future, subscribe and turn on notifications to be notified about future videos. Now check out one of these interesting videos.